Hey, you! Your mum's a... Did you say something about mummy? Mummy, please bring me my mummy. No. No mummy's here. Oh, thank God that this story is better than that shit. Oh. Oh. The irony is, this story is more of a vampire story than Twilight. Excuse me a second. Hello Whovians and welcome to my latest Doctor Who review, where today I review the 6th episode of Series 5 of Doctor Who, which is the 207th Doctor Who story. The Vampires of Venice, starring Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. Okay, so, The Vampires of Venice. Well, the basic plot of this story is as follows. The 11th Doctor takes Amy and Rory, soon to be married, on a romantic trip to Venice, 1580, to make Amy focus on her relationship with her fiancé. However, things in Venice aren't quite what they seem. Warnings of the plague are spreading about, despite it having died out a few years before, and pale, creepy girls who don't like the sunlight are lurking around. Could it have something to do with the school run by the mysterious Rosanna Calvieri? Okay. The Vampires of Venice. Well, after the pretty mediocre story that was the Angels two-parter, I have to say this is a massive improvement over that. The Vampires of Venice, this is a pretty solid, great, fun Doctor Who story. I don't think it's a masterpiece. I don't think it's amazing, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good for what it was. The only problems I sort of had with the story would be, well, this story is to depict the aftermath of the kiss between the Doctor and Amy, which is very awkward. And don't get me wrong, there's tensions in this story. There's some awkward tensions between the Doctor, Amy, and Rory in this story. However, Rory at 1 minute seems to kind of ignore the whole thing and just go along for the ride, and then the next minute he's questioning it. So throughout the episode, there was never really a point where he challenged Amy about it. He was kind of being very short with her and sort of trying to ignore her, and she was like, oh, please, let's not do this. We're here in Venice. He just kind of, ignored it, really. Whereas he challenges the Doctor about putting people in danger and the kiss as well. So I just thought Rory could have had a much stronger reaction to the kiss. I mean, okay, he's clearly pissed off and he's clearly annoyed. I mean, the episode opens with the Doctor bursting out of a cake and telling Rory, oh, your fiancée, she tried to kiss me. And, she's quite a good kisser. Which was kind of the wrong thing to say, but it's kind of amusing, I suppose. But yeah, this story, it sort of is meant to fix the relationship between Amy and Rory. I mean, the kiss was a mistake, and that is acknowledged, but Amy doesn't ever apologise. And I think that's wrong. I personally think Amy should have apologised to Rory. Both the Doctor and Amy should have apologised to Rory, especially Amy, because she was the one who initiated the kiss. Yeah, it's just a bit awkward, to be honest. I don't think the aftermath of the kiss was really handled well. I still believe that Rory should have reacted much more strongly than that. And the creatures, I mean, I don't actually know what they're called, to be honest. I can't remember if they actually mentioned the names. I'm sure somebody will let me know down below. The only thing I know is that they're from this planet called Saturnine or something. And basically they are using perception filters to appear human, but they have to constantly hydrate and drink water because they are creatures of the sea. And basically, the plan for the aliens is to use the girls, as vampires, to bite people and convert them into them, so they can repopulate. And apparently, they have like 10,000 of husbands down under the sea, so they survived the trip through the crack in time. Whereas the The girls, they needed perception filters, and they needed water. I mean, you could argue at one point it's kind of ridiculous to have these sort of fish-looking creatures be vampires, but it actually is quite a clever idea. I do actually quite like the concept of the villains, and I think it works. The way the story opens is quite good. It's quite a mysterious build-up. We have this guy called Guido, and his daughter, Isabella. He enlists her in this school, and then he discovers that the school is not what it appears to be, and that Isabella is actually trapped. And it's actually quite sad. Isabella doesn't make it through the story, which is really, really tragic. We don't actually see her that much, but Amy gets to meet her when she infiltrates the school. And then Guido very powerfully sacrifices himself for the Doctor, Amy, and Rory because his daughter is gone. He doesn't have much else to live for, which is a really sad moment there. Now, that was a really dramatic moment when the explosion happened. And the story is very entertaining. It's very fun, and the location is fantastic. I mean, Venice looks great. I know they probably didn't actually go to Venice, but it looks pretty good. I mean, there are some obvious green screen shots, but it is on a TV budget, so I'll forgive them a little bit. But it looks good enough for what the story requires, but you do notice the effects. They might have dated a bit since 2010. This is overall very good. Like, Matt Smith as the Doctor, he's really coming into his own now, and I love the moment, especially when he's talking to the girls, and he lifts up his library card, and it's actually got the picture of William Hartnell on it, which is a nice little reference there. I think as the Doctor, he's kind of, he's questioned a lot more in this story. He's definitely his quirky self and whatnot, but he gets quite dramatic, especially with Rosanna, when he says, "You didn't know Isabella's name. You didn't know her name." And also that moment that he has with Rory, when Rory stands up to him and says, "You know what's dangerous about you is that, you know, you make people want to impress you," or something like that. So the Doctor has really kind of pushed the odds here, and he's trying to forget about the kiss that happened with Amy, and he's trying to keep Amy and Rory together, which is good. But it's just, if Amy had apologized for that, then I would have understood it. And if Rory had reacted more, you know, more emotionally to that, then maybe it would have been more believable, the aftermath of the kiss and the fact that they want to go on this date. I think they should have made it a bit clearer how each character felt about that situation, to be honest, but they don't. Karen Gillan as Amy is very good. I mean, again, I have my issues with Amy in this story. The fact that she doesn't apologise for the kiss, but again, that's not her fault. It's just the way it's written, but I think her performance is pretty decent, to be fair. And Arthur Darvill as Rory. Yeah, this is the first story where Rory actually gets quite a bit more to do. And I like the way he confronts the Doctor. And in the end, Rory becomes a companion. He's given permission to travel with the Doctor and Amy. I really like that, because it's actually their way of almost making up for the kiss. And you know, Rory doesn't have to worry about Amy going off with the Doctor when he's there. So, yeah, and I think he realizes in the end that they will, you know, they're solid and they'll be okay in the end. They just need time to get over that incident. And the fact is, the Doctor brought them to Venice purely because it was a romantic setting. And, you know, there is a moment where Amy and Rory have to fight Francesco, who's the son of Rosanna, and I love that scene. And then afterwards, when Francesco dies from the sunlight, reflecting on the mirror, Amy actually kisses Rory, which is nice. So they do sort of gradually rebuild Amy and Rory's relationship, which is nice, and they have some good chemistry together in this one. We did see Rory briefly in the 11th hour, but we didn't really get too much information about him. We knew he was a nurse, and we knew that he was Amy's boyfriend, and he kind of tagged along in the adventure towards the end, but we didn't really know much more after that. But Rory is going to be featured quite a lot more in the Matt Smith era. Certainly going forward, he will become a big focus of the end of Series 5 and into Series 6, and even the start of Series 7. The CGI on the fish, it looks okay. I mean, it's not the most evocative design of the creatures, but I don't think they're the best creatures ever, but they do look good, and they look plausible enough. But we don't really see them that much, you know. It's only every so often that we see them. I like Marigold's music as well, and I think the story is paced really well. And it's a ton of fun. It really is a ton of fun. But like I said, I have some minor issues with it, so yeah, I can't say it's perfect. However, I am going to score The Vampires of Venice an 8 out of 10. I think it's a solid piece of fun, but I don't think it's the best of Series 5. It is better than some of the stories in this series, oh, that's for sure. But it's not perfect. So yeah, that's my review of The Vampires of Venice. What do you think of this story? Please comment down below. Let me know. Please hit that subscribe button for future content and reviews, which will be coming your way. And until next time, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Bye for now.